Hi, I'm John, and I'm the Jigsaw Puzzler. Today I'd like to share with you one of my Father's Day gifts. I have two kids, and both of them, obligingly on Father's Day this year, provided me with jigsaw puzzles. This puzzle came from my eldest child. It's a round puzzle. I've never done a round puzzle before, and I've noted on a lot of Facebook pages that round puzzles are gaining popularity amongst puzzlers. I see lots and lots of photos of different kinds of round puzzles. So now this is my very first round puzzle. It's called A Round Oz. A Round Oz. It's a pun because the image contains pictures of things that you would find around Australia. Some things are quite iconic, like koalas, platypus, there's a kangaroo somewhere here, there we go, there's one, there's another one there, and various other images of flora and fauna that might be found around Australia, interspersed with a handful of things that are not particularly Australian, but you might still find here, like watermelon or oranges. Not native to Australia, but still things that you might find here. So the artist's name is Maximilian Malone, and the puzzle is produced by a company called Journey of Something. I've never heard of them before. I have no idea what the quality of their puzzles is like, but now I have one and we're going to road test this one. So what am I going to look for when I'm doing this? Well, firstly, when I see a picture, a puzzle picture, if I were choosing a puzzle, I look for something that I think is going to be both challenging and achievable. This one I think is going to be both because of it's a collage of a number of other pictures. So that to me says that this will be ultimately achievable because it can be broken down into a number of different segments. Different parts of the image have different colors and textures, and there are lots of different shapes, distinct shapes, which says to me that I should be able to collect pieces of a certain kind and put them together reasonably easily. It's 1,000 pieces, so it's still going to take a fair bit of time. It's also 67.5 centimeters in diameter, which means it's going to take up about that much of the table. So it's quite a large circular puzzle. So let's open the box. Right, so inside the box, first thing we see is a poster. This is a poster of the image, so we don't have to just rely on the image on the top of the box. The image on the top of the box is the complete image by the looks of things. The same things around the edge here are around the edge of the poster, so that's a good sign. I've got some puzzles where the image on the box is a smaller section of the main image, and sometimes you get a poster with those and sometimes you don't. Well, that's going to need flattening out. Alright, what else have we got? Obviously we have a bag with the puzzle pieces and a bit of puzzle dust. Now this bag, they've provided a Ziploc bag already, which is brilliant. I don't have to get one that I've purchased from the supermarket. I can reuse this bag. Right, so what am I looking for when I do a puzzle like this? I have not experienced this brand before. I don't know what the quality of their pieces is going to be like. I don't know really about the thickness of the cardboard. I don't know how well the pieces are going to hold together. I have some puzzles where the pieces don't hold together very well and the slightest bump will upset a section or most of the puzzle, and I find those puzzles the most frustrating. Regardless of the kind of cut, whether it's a ribbon or a regular cut or irregular pieces, it doesn't really matter. As long as the thing holds together while I'm doing it, that's something that I really appreciate. The other thing that I like is obviously at the end, if you can pick the whole thing up, then that's brilliant. But otherwise, the thickness of the pieces, how well it holds together, and the quality of the image. A lot of older puzzles have a photograph that's reasonably clear on the box, but blown up, enlarged to the puzzle size, it's a bit blurry and a bit out of focus. Some part of the puzzle might be in focus and the rest of it is out of focus, and I find those to be a bit off-putting, to be honest. So let's see how we go with this. I can see in here already, if I just carefully open the bag, I'm going to, oh, we have to rip the top off. Oh, yeah. I'm going to need some scissors. And we're back again. We have a pair of scissors to take the top of the bag off. It does have perforations, but it's not tearing very easily along there. So let's just take that off. And can we open it now? Yes. Good. Now I can see just from looking inside the box here that we've got some fairly fun shaped pieces, like these long elongated curves here, but we also have what looks like regular square edge pieces. I'm hoping that they are actually slightly curved when you put them together and you get the whole sweep of the circle made out of those. Otherwise, we're going to end up with butted joins down through sections of the puzzle, and I'm not a fan of puzzles that have butt together joins rather than actual interlocking joins. So we'll be pulling those out and putting those aside and seeing if we can make the circular edge out of those. What I'd like to do with this puzzle is a time lapse. Now it's going to take me a little while to actually complete this puzzle, I think. I'm not going to speed puzzle it. I'm just going to take my time. It might take me a few days to get through the time lapse to complete this puzzle, but that's okay. I have here, I use a couple of plastic containers as my sorting trays. I just got these, they're Decor brand, I just got them from Spotlight, and they make perfectly good sorting trays. They're the sort of size that you might put flatbread in, something like that. Usually divide them in two and go from a 1,000-piece puzzle. I usually use 2 trays. 1,500, I'd probably use 3, and a 2,000, I've had 4 or 5 puzzles of these boxes on the go with a big one. Black tablecloth here, we're going to get a lot of puzzle dust. So we're going to have a time lapse over the next few days, and we'll see how we go. And I'll talk about the quality of it at the end once that's done. Okay, so I've completed a round Oz by Journey of Something, my first round puzzle. So what did I think of this puzzle? A couple of things that I really want to note. Firstly, the pieces themselves are on quite thick cardboard and they hold together really well. I can pick up the whole puzzle and it will hold together. Second thing I want to note is that for the first time, I've had a puzzle that does not slide smoothly on the black cloth background that I've got. This puzzle snags. If I give it a tug, it takes a fair bit of effort to pull it across the table. So when I was doing this puzzle, I put a section together, and if I had to shift it, which I invariably did, I had to pick up the whole section and actually move it. And it meant that when the circle, I did the edge, and when I was the parts were joining in the middle and it pulled the circle into shape, it put a lot of strain on the puzzle to connect it together, and I had to gently pick up parts and put them in the right place, just to make it join together. So the pieces on the back are actually quite rough, and they have snagged on the cloth surface that I've got here. Now that is my problem, not everybody else's problem, because a lot of people have a smooth board of some sort to do their puzzles on, and that wouldn't be such a problem there. So if I'd done this on a flat tabletop, that wouldn't have been such a problem, but it is just something that I want to note. Thirdly, the puzzle image itself is really, really busy, phenomenally busy. There is so much detail and so many elements in this one. There are photographs which are slightly out of focus, like this particular one here, the koala here, or the two koalas, they are very out of focus. This one here, whereas some other parts of it, the more illustrated, artistic parts of it, are in much sharper focus. The elements on the image, unfortunately, a lot of them are not exclusively Australian images. Despite the puzzle being called Art Round Oz, OZ for Australia, the animals in this picture, the animals and the birds, appear to be Australian natives, but I'm not 100% sure about the flora and the flora. There wasn't a lot that I really recognised in terms of the flora as native Australian, whether they are just stylised flowers and leaves and fruit and things like that. The watermelon, the orange, definitely not native to Australia. But it is what it is, and that's the way the image designer has put it together, Maximilian Malone. The other thing I want to say about this puzzle, and I wouldn't know this really, or you won't be able to tell up close. Now I'm going to include with this video and some photos of the back of this puzzle, which show that brand new out of the box, there's a fair bit of damage to it. There are pieces which are slightly bent or corners lifting. They're not pristine. I don't know whether that's as a consequence of the manufacturing process, the cutting machines or whatever that they've used to make this, but there were quite a number of pieces which I would consider to be damaged out of the box. I can see here there's a corner there that's lifting up already. This piece here, there's one here, this one here is folded across the middle, that's folded across the middle, that's folded across the middle, which I thought was a bit disappointing for a brand new puzzle that had not even been opened or done once. The other thing about this puzzle, which I do find slightly disturbing, and again, when you look at the images of the back, you'll see that there are a lot of grease spot stains, as if drops of oil has fallen onto it, and in with that are bits of grit, bits of dirt stuck to the oily patches. Not sand, but something gritty like that. That I found a little bit, if you saw something like that on a second-hand puzzle that was 20 years old, you might think, well, it's had a long life, you don't know where it's been or who's looked after it or hasn't looked after it. You might kind of tolerate that in an older second-hand puzzle, but in a brand new puzzle, I am a bit disappointed that that is what I found. The back of the puzzle is entirely white, so if I lift that up, which makes it really easy to see all of the imperfections. A number of puzzles have got the blue cardboard backs and things like that, which obviously might hide some of those imperfections, but never have I seen a new puzzle that has got staining, like grease stain, like that before. Occasionally a damaged piece or two, but never something as staining as that. It was a good puzzle to do. It was easy to put together. The pieces hold together well. Obviously, being a round puzzle, we're going to get a lot of irregular shaped pieces because of the nature of the shape. Once you find the middle, that's a very distinctive piece, and then there are 4 pieces which join onto that to make the middle slightly larger, and after that it's all the cut pieces of the sizes that you might expect to find in a normal puzzle. Would I do it again? Yes. Would I do a round puzzle again? Yes. Would I do this? Would I choose an image like this for myself? As I said at the very beginning, this was a gift. This is not my style of image. I've got one other collage style puzzle, which I bought because I like the theme, but they're not really my sort of thing. But yes, I would do this again, and yes, I would probably have another one of this brand, only hoping that it was a tiny bit cleaner on the underside. And that's my review of Around Oz, the artist Maximilian Malone from journeyofsomething.com.